And I guess that'll take us into our last topic, which will just be sort of discussing, our favorite memories, favorite songs, just I guess a sort of retrospective on FX as a group now that we can sort of finally, in some ways put them to rest as a group. So I'll let you go first. So what would you say your favorite what was your first memory of FX? Like when did you first get into their music or just like their group?
Okay, so FX was one of the very first groups I ever found in K-pop because I think FX is obviously kind of a natural progression from SNSD, who were my first group, because they're in the same company. So in my recommended, I'll get the same videos. I think the first video I saw from them was I want to say like Pinocchio, maybe, because I think it had just come out.
It wasn't Lachata.
It was either Lakshata or Pinocchio. Let me check for sure, because I don't know when those came out, but I remember they were very close to each other.
2010?
Yeah, like Danger came out, or Pinocchio, Danger, whatever you want to call it, came out in 2011. That was that was their newest single. I'm pretty sure it was Danger was the first one I saw from them. And I remember spamming the crap out of that one when I first found it because it's really catchy. Danger, New ABO, Lakshata, Chu. Those were the songs they had out. And then I think after that they came out with Hot Summer, like shortly after. Let me see when exactly that came out. Yeah, Hot Summer was also 2011, I think. Yeah, Hot Summer was also one of the first ones.
That might have been the first comeback I sort of paid attention to them, or one of the first few I paid attention to them.
Yeah, that song was also spam worthy for me. Like I listened to Hot Summer a lot. Dude, FX was one of my favorite groups back then. I mean, it still is. They still are.
Same, yeah. Yeah, it's just they like the impact that they made on the industry shouldn't be understated. And I know that's hard for people that came in like post like 2015, 2016. It might be hard for them to understand that because they just haven't been around. But yeah, they were like, all this weird shit that groups are doing now. Like one of the first groups to do that music in K-pop was FX. Like they were doing weird stuff like way before it was popular to do weird stuff. So
yeah, that's what they're known for. FX is the experimental group.
Yeah,
in SM.
If you look at every group that SM has now, they're just super, like, what FX was doing sort of became the identity that SM built around. Like, It's funny now because Soshi was like the aberration where they were the only sort of like traditional-ish K-pop group that SM has now. Where
like the same, like SNSD, well, they set the standard. FX kind of broke the standard, I guess.
Which was a perfect sort of way to put them. And I mean, it definitely... What FX was doing definitely gave rise to what EXO was doing, what Red Velvet eventually was doing with just like how weird a lot of their music is, and how out there NCT is to some degree. So they really were like a catalyst for just how SM approached making groups after that. So my first memory, I guess, would be I think it was my friend Kim, who I mentioned a lot as like she's sort of the catalyst for why I got into K-pop in the first place. Like we were in our Adobe Illustrator class in like freshman year of college. So we were just bored, like fucking around in class because like I think we were just not paying attention or whatever. And she told me, I think because she knew how much of a fan I was of Soshi, and like that whole backstory of like how I went to SSD. I became an SSD stan because we went to the Best Buy theater event.
I still wish I'm so close.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know what I had at the time, and she knew that like my favorite was Jessica, and then she mentioned, "Oh, did you know Jessica's sister is also in a K-pop group?" And I was like, "Whoa, really?" So then she showed me La Ta, and then I started looking even more. I spammed like the entire new ABO like album like to death, because again, this was before the era of streaming and Spotify, so I had to go to like K2N blog to download it and everything, and it was in like 56K quality, so it sounded like it got put through like a washing machine or something like that. See, I was listening to like everything, like Lashata, New ABO, like Hot Summer, and I feel like sort of my peak Red Velvet, my peak FX sort of like following was when they came out with Electric Shock. Like Electric Shock was the first comeback of theirs that I followed like very heavily. Like I saw teasers, I saw teaser like images and everything, and like it's funny how like influential of a song that is now. Like we're just like everyone or Electric Shock was the catalyst for a lot of people getting into K-pop, just because that was one of the very rare, like pre Gangnam Style or around Gangnam Style era, just breaking out songs. Because I mean, they did remember that whole
for people who got into K-pop through Gangnam Style, that would have been one of the very first ones they would have come across, like FX, Electric Shock. G-Dragon, like Crayon had just come out.
Yeah,
like
so
Fantastic Baby had just come out.
Yeah.
I Am the Best was the year before. Let's see. The Boys from SNSD. Like all those kind of stuff were like recent and people would have come across those first.
Yeah, so it was like Electric Shock really was sort of like it took FX to a completely different level in terms of how like crazy like that was probably like the early you could like trace like the earliest traces of that sort of like electronic style at least in modern K-pop. So and no, like remember that they had that whole was it like Funny or Die video with Anna Kendrick
with Anna Kendrick.
Of all people.
I love that.
Like again, this is before like you take it so like everything for granted now, like interactions between like American like celebrities and K-pop idols, like that just blew my mind. I was like, what, Anna Kendrick? And then like that part, like, if you never seen it, you have to. If you guys never seen it, go look up the clip. It's like because it was right after the first. Oh God, was that Pitch Perfect movie came out? So the part where Sully just like do the cup song,
do the cup thing. Yeah. Victoria is like. She like slams a cup on the table. She's like, "Do it."
Like that was like the most like we've ever seen in terms of interaction or just like mainstream recognition of what K-pop was at that point. So it was insane just seeing that. Like so that's like FX just has so many vivid memories of just like my growth and history with K-pop that like it shouldn't be understated in that sort of way. So
I think FX was the very first Korean artist to perform at South by Southwest also.
Yeah, that would make sense because I know they did a bit of touring, so
it's really interesting how FX was at the front of a lot of penetration into the West, which is interesting because usually they're thought of as kind of a secondary group, I guess. In some cases. Like in
Korea, they play second fiddle to Soshi most of the time. So
so it was interesting that they tended to, put a lot of firsts in like as far as Western penetration goes. I think maybe because of their like electronic style, it's kind of familiar to a lot of pop listeners, even though they did experiment with a lot of like weird sounds. I think they weren't super like so offensive that people would not like them. I think it was just like they sound cool and like I think most people would like it, I guess.
So what would you say your favorite FX song is of all time?
Okay, that's really hard.
You got to pick one.
I'm gonna go with B-sides just to avoid like just basic answers, I guess. All right, I'll do a B-side and a title track, I think. So for favorite B-side is probably from Four Walls. It's Rude Love. I love that song so much.
Okay.
Yeah,
good
I
pick.
love that song. Like there's a lot of really good songs like Rude Love, Airplane. Like the whole Pink Tape album is fantastic. I've got it right here in the background. Standing up. As for title tracks, I might have to go with just the classic, just Hot Summer or Electric Shock. I really love both of those. I think they're iconic. I think both of those are like essential listening for anyone who wants to know like the history of like older K-pop if they're a newer fan. Yeah, like basically their last three albums, Four Walls, Red Light, and Pink Tape, those are all gold standard albums.
Those are some of those are like the best K-pop albums to have ever come out in the history of K-pop. So
yes,
yeah,
so good. Also, All Mine, honestly, their last song that they came out with, All Mine, so good.
Yeah,
that was my summer song in 2016.
That was before we got like the influx of Amber singing. So I was just like, whoa, Amber singing. That back when it was so mind blowing. So. For me, I guess it'd be like just overall favorites. It'd be a tie between Airplane and
Airplane's awesome.
And Goodbye Summer featuring Dio from EXO. Like that is a super underrated song, and just in terms of like how good it is. So basically like that Pink Tape album again is probably that was their magnum opus in terms of just like peak.
Yeah, I pre-ordered that album. I got it right here. I still got the paper insert that came with it. I got everything.
I should get it before it becomes too much of a collector's item. But yeah, I mean, in terms of singles, I guess just probably Electric Shock, again, Hot Summer. I do have a soft spot for like La Chata. Also, something I have a soft spot for, and I will continue to die on the hill for, is FX's rendition of Chocolate Love, which is superior to SNSD's. It's superior.
Sorry, but no.
I will die. I will go to the grave. I will go to my grave, whenever that may be, insisting that the FX version is just so superior. Because again, maybe it's just because there was a time in my life where I liked FX better than SNSD, because SNSD was very much entrenched in their sort of traditional K-pop style, and then we were getting this crazy sounding stuff from FX, and like it's just so much more interesting. And you get a rap break from Amber and everything. It's just like, if you put a gun to my head and made me choose which one to listen to, I'd listen to the FX version.
Do we really need to put a gun to your head, though?
Don't get me wrong. I still like the SNSD version. I love it. I love the idea of like that's the era K-pop was in back in the day, where like singles were CFs essentially, because Chocolate Love was a single or like a CF for the LG Chocolate like sliding phone type of thing. I think my sister had one of those. So it was. So yeah, that's still one of my favorite sort of things, and just like how they interacted with each other. So I guess
talking about FX just makes me miss old K-pop again.
Yeah, because
I go through this like several times a year. I'm just like I miss old K-pop.
In so many ways, FX defined old K-pop. Just like they were. I do like. I know a lot of people might be thinking we're gassing them up, but that's how influential of a group they were for their era. So.
Yeah, I mean, definitely for me, like, even just recently, like, I've been listening to a lot of Boa recently, like, all of her stuff from 2000 to 2003, even, like, I wasn't even into K-pop back then, but
you weren't even alive then.
Yes, I was, but
you're like
I
2 years
still
old.
just, I was 5 when Atlantis Princess came out. But anyways, like, it's just, I don't know, it's just, I feel like ever since BTS, there's been a turning point in the style of K-pop that it's just different. It's just different. Like it's a turning point moment. And you know, the part that the era that it came up in, I guess, is kind of gone. Yeah, so
we both came up in like the early 2010s era of K-pop, and
in many ways, second, third gen.
In many ways, that's sort of what defined K-pop going forward. Like that's when you really started to establish what sort of tropes and concepts and ideas were. Like that's what like this current generation of K-pop was built off of. So it's different, and we definitely miss it to some degree. So I guess before we sign off, we can probably just talk about like favorite moment or something like that, or I don't know, just like what was your favorite moment regarding like whether it be like a live stage, a comeback, like anything with the members or whatever, like favorite moment having to do with FX.
I have one last thing to touch on the last topic is with FX specifically, is I think they starting to do more of the experimental stuff with Red Velvet, kind of like, I guess, they kind of passed the baton to Red Velvet, I guess.
Yeah.
Now I just want more of that in the current landscape with right now kind of a lot of stuff being kind of cash grabby, I guess, with certain trends.
Well, because pretty much almost every group, almost every new girl group is you're either biting from Twice or you're biting from Blackpink. It's just it's either or at this point. So FX is sort of like that sort of last outlaw type of thing in terms of like unique sound. And I mean, again, in some ways they did pass that off to Red Velvet, and unfortunately Red Velvet doesn't get much popularity outside of the US because it's just too unlike those two groups. So
to be honest, I kind of wish K-pop's popularity would kind of plateau in the West for a while, just so that I don't want it to stop growing completely, but just plateau for a while so that they start trying things that are new, because the current strategies aren't working anymore.
I don't know. I think the cat's kind of out of the bag. Like, even if the Western success stopped, they just try their hard. They just double down on what they're doing now to sort of recapture Western success again. So yeah, it's changed now, and we just sort of have to accept that it's just different, like how they do things.
I just feel like we're in kind of a valley, I guess, at the moment, but we'll start going back uphill soon. Not that anything's bad. Not that anything's bad. There's a lot of good stuff coming out. It's just, as far as the overall landscape, I don't think there's any huge innovations at the moment, is all.
Well, because most of the innovation has already been made, so it's just sort of refining upon it. So yeah, anyway, best moments.
Best moments for FX. Man, that's kind of hard.
Because I know you pay attention to like variety and like, I don't know, just like appearances more than I did. So
yeah. I don't know. I mean,
Sully eating your cat. No.
Oh my god, yeah, that was a great moment. I remember it was like it was not long after she left. Like, I was like, I got an Instagram notification. It was like, oh, Sully is streaming right now. I was like, okay, sure, I'll catch it. I'm not doing anything. I was watching it, and then all of a sudden she started like chewing on her cat's ear. I was like, Sully, why are you eating your cat? And then it became like an infamous moment. I just happened to have caught it live.
Yeah, you just happened to turn onto it. Like, you just happened to turn onto history in the making. So.
Yeah, she was like literally chewing on her cat.
Favorite moment from when the group was still like 5.
Yeah, so I don't know about maybe if it was a moment just from them, but like just discovering them in general, being in the like, I don't know, being able to follow them in their prime. I just think that was just such a fun.
Yeah, like in so many ways, we're lucky that we got to see like FX in their prime, because people like that are new only just get to listen to us old people talk about.
Yeah, like
back in my day.
Even Cooper, like this is one of his favorite groups, but he didn't start liking them until after they were gone.
Yeah, that's like the original sin for Cooper, that he's burdened with liking a group that he never got to experience in person, or just like when they were active. So that just kind of sucks.
Man, that fucking sucks. Like FX is legitimately like one of my top groups of all time.
Oh yeah, I'd put them up there with like, in terms of like how much I love that group.
Yeah, with SNSD, Red Velvet, obviously SM staying here, but like I'd put them with SNSD, Red Velvet, 4 Minute. Let's see.
For me, 21. I'd put them up there with 21 and Soshi. Like that, they really were one of my, like they were the second or third group I got into. Yeah. Just their influence shouldn't be understated. So I guess for me, my favorite memory would probably be from Mama 2015. So this is right around the time when 4 Walls came out. So they perform at Mama. And this is the rare, like, for whatever reason that year, Mama was streaming on OGN, which is the people that do like League of Legends
the gaming
in Korea. Yeah, so it was streaming on Twitch. So you had Mama with Twitch chat. How amazing is, like, I'm so sad that it doesn't get shown on Twitch anymore, because like Mama with Twitch chat was insane. Like, because it was I think Victoria was doing a Chinese drama at that point, so it was just Crystal, Luna, and Amber. So during the whole 4 Walls performance, the Twitch chat was just spamming 3 walls, 3 walls, 3 walls the whole time. I was dying. It was so bad.
3 walls. Love is 3 walls.
Yeah, it was so funny. And then they had like a random ass collaboration with freaking Pet Shop Boys.
Oh yeah,
that was so, because they were
so
like,
weird.
They were like they were the original electropop.
Was that the same year that they did a collaboration? Cran Pop did a collaboration with the What Does the Fox Say, guys?
I think that was the year before. That might have been the year before, but no, that was probably the year before. But yeah, like that was the weird Western collaboration of the year, where like FX, 3 Walls, FX.
I'll never forget what happened the next year.
That's another story, but yeah, that was probably my most like memorable moment, just seeing like Twitch chat and FX and just that sort of thing. Like that's probably one of my favorite moments I've ever had, like as a K-pop fan, just like watching all of that unfold live. And it just so happened to be with FX. So let us know in the comments what your favorite memories of FX are, what your favorite songs are when you first discovered FX. And just any thoughts you have on just them disbanding, like how much you love the group, or if you wish you sort of got to know them before their, I guess, decline or downfall, that sort of thing. And Yeah, it's a group I'm gonna miss for a while, and you definitely, please do definitely look into their discography if you haven't. There's a lot of good stuff you're missing out on if you haven't already.
Yep.
So
all right.
Yeah.
So I guess that was the show. Thanks for listening this week. Let us know your thoughts on CLC's new single, Simon Dominic's Unfortunate album. And also, your thoughts with FX. Was this expected for you? What are your favorite memories, standing FX, following FX, listening to their music? And yeah, I think that's pretty much everything.
Yeah, we should probably go back to normal in a week or two when Nate comes back from vacation.
Oh yeah, because now I actually have a stable setup. I have my own room. I don't have to rely on other people to be quiet or anything. So
yeah, and in a few weeks we'll be starting. Hopefully, if everything goes to plan, we'll be starting a new Produce Cast style show with Queendom. So that should be fun. I guess plan for now is it'll be me, Nate, and one of our mods, Sam, will be covering Queendom, and then you and Baron will do DaebakCast is what the sort of tentative plan will be. So definitely
I don't think I've been on the show with Baron yet. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be fun. So look forward to that. No concerts in the near immediate future for me because I'm saving up for a trip to Japan. Yeah, I'd say that does it for our future schedule. As always, join our Discord. Please subscribe to us here at youtube.com/trulydaebak if you want to see more of our videos. Listen to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Rate us, please, so we sort of get more exposure. Yeah, I guess that does it for episode.
That's it.
What is it? 136.
136.
Almost to 150.
Yep.
So take us out with your usual whatever you say.
All right. Well, yeah. So thanks for listening. If you liked it, please subscribe. If you're audio listener, same thing. Comment your thoughts. Correct us if we're wrong on anything. Join Discord. Smoke Show Lit. And yeah. See you next week.
Stay electric.
Stay mucho or stay throbbingly electric. Throbbingly.
Now I need to go listen to Electric Shock again. That's such a good song. Okay, I'm gonna go listen to it after this.
I'm watching a stage mix of Pinocchio right now.